Hello everyone, this is Sonic Goon, coach of the Lansdowne Guzzlords, here for my week 2 recap for Cascade Draft League Season 9. For this week, I'm playing against the Baltimore Oricorios, coached by reedneed. Sorry, it's a little late when I'm recording this, but I need to get this done because I've been shirking work. Also, this is, Christmas break, Christmas weekend basically, and, spending time with family, but now I need to really get back into doing things again. So yeah, just to look at our matchup, we both have our generation varies. I have Mew, he has Victini, but Victini, Diancie, Mega Diancie, Buzzwole, Kingdra, Gigalith, Dragozol, Bellossom, Porygon 2, Galarbro, Palisand, and Avalugg. His team actually kind of gets bodied by Sirfetch'd. His only real fighting switch in is Slowbro Galar, but Galarian Slowbro does not want to take a knockoff at all. And then Brave Bird does something around half, so a knockoff without even an item would still do around 40%, and knockoff with an item does 70, so it's a guarantee to a KO. The only other fighting switch in he has is Buzzwole. Buzzwole dies to Brave Bird, however. So he doesn't really have much he can switch into my banded close combat, so Sirfetch'd is definitely coming. However, once again, my team is pretty weak to ground coverage in general, so Mega Diancie actually kind of goes in. It outspeeds Sirfetch'd, obviously, and one-shots it with Play Rough or Moonblast. It outspeeds pretty much everything under Lycan Rock Dusk. But yeah, but even then, it speed ties with Lycan Rock Dust, and Lycan Rock Dust can't one-shot it. I think, unless it has Iron Head, but I don't think it does. I haven't checked its movable in a while to make sure that what I'm saying is right. But it beats Lycan Rock Dust. Greninja can miss Hydro Pump, and if it's a Rock Polish as he said, it actually just wins. Zeraora can't one-shot it unless I'm banded close combat, and then Mew can beat it 1v1, however, because Mew has coverage of everything, so it can click a steel type move. So that's my only real switch into Mega Diancie. Victini I'm not really worried about. Lycan Rock pretty much beats it 1v1. Steelix can 1v1 it, and Greninja can 1v1 it. So I'm not really super worried about Victini. Buzzwole actually kind of goes in. It's not the best specially defensive, but if he runs AV, I'm kind of a little in a bad spot. And if it gets any boost, it actually can kill Sirfetch'd with a fighting type move. But if Sirfetch'd is healthy and Buzzwole does not have a boost, Brave Bird's pretty safe play here. Because why would you go Gigalith risking the knock or the close combat against the Sirfetch'd? And the only other flying type switch in is Mega Diancie, and again, you're risking close combat on that thing. So yeah, the matchup is kind of in my opponent's favor, but I have a lot of tools to deal with it, obviously, because my team hurts really hard, but has a lot of problems. So here's a bit about the team I built. You have Elutri on the Greninja, Dark Pulse, Water Shuriken, Spikes, and Hydro Pump. So the theme for this week was I was gonna go try for hazard spam team, because his only removal is Avalugg. So if I get down all these hazards, you just can't get rid of them, and that's gonna slowly whittle him down. So I have Spikes on Greninja, Spikes on Mew, Stealth Rock on Steelix, Toxic Spikes. So I have all my hazards in play. Mew, I have Flash Cannon, Flip Turn, Spikes, and Psychic. Flip Turn because it actually does more to Victini in case he wants to switch that in. And that's about it, really. For Flip Turn and Flash Cannon, it's Mega Diancie for super effective damage, and then Psychic just hits anything for stab damage really well. That's neutral. Next is Sirfetch'd. I just ran the standard set. So CC Brave Bird, knock off into Fog. I'm not going to be clicking to Fog, but it's just nice to have in case hazards get a little insane on his end. Sorry, and I'm recording this when I'm super tired, but I have to get this done. So Surfetch is really, really stupid. Close combat does so much damage. It's pretty illegal damage, to be honest, for how low points this is. This is like lower. This is T3B Pokemon, so paid 80 points, like 2-hit KO, some of the bulkiest Pokemon in the game, and still outspeed it. So I basically just get guaranteed 2-hit KOs and some crazy rolls. Next is Megalex, Gyro Ball, Body Press, Earthquake, Self Rock. Again, Rocks because I want to at least try to hazard stack this game. Gyro Ball because it hits pretty much everything that's faster than it pretty well, and it does actually more on average than Heavy Slam that I noticed. Body Press just because it's freaking Megalex, and Megalex has base 230 defense, so even though I don't have that much defense investment, I don't really care, because my defense investment is probably higher than most mons that actually require it right now, even with only 4 EVs in it. And then finally Earthquake, because Stab and Earthquake is probably one of the best moves in the game. It's always been just one of the best moves, so why not run it? Next is Drag Alge, Mizupune, Flip Turn, Sludge Wave, Draco Meteor, Toxic Spikes. Plan is to get down Toxic Spikes and then just start clicking moves. Having a Slow Pet and Flip Turn is really nice. I forget what these speed EVs were for exactly. It's been a while since the game was actually played. But whatever this outspeeds, it outspeeds it just by like 1 or 2 points. And you know, it hits hard because it's modest. Last but certainly not least is Lycan Rock Dusk. This is running offensive coverage, drill run for the steel types on his team, which... Does he have a steel type? No. It's for Slowbro, Galarian Slowbro, and Gigalith. As well as Mega Diancie. Crunch for Victini, as well as Galarian Slowbro. And just good, also good coverage against Palisand. Stone Edge hits Avalugg for super effective damage, as well as I think Victini and Buzz. No, Buzzwole takes neutral. And then Play Rough hits everything else for super effective that isn't covered by that. So this gives me for full super effective coverage to take advantage of that expert belt. To jump right in the match, it brings about what I expect. Porygon 2 is just fat, so it's hard to break through. Kingdra, because if he doesn't, Greninja just goes through his team with Hydro Pump. Buzzwole or Galarian Slowbro stops me from just clicking close combat with Surfetched. And then Palisand stops my physical attackers that aren't named Surfetched. So yeah. I decided to lead Drag Alge here just because I figured he would probably lead something like either Porygon 2 or Victini, or perhaps even like Palisand. But I saw him leading Buzzwole. I was like, okay, I'm fine, because I forgot to do a lot of prep this week. Just because like I was just super busy, I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't really do the best prep. So I forgot to actually check move pools. And I forgot that Buzzwole had Earthquake. If I remember the Buzzwole had Earthquake, I probably would have ran like Shukaberry, Drag Alge, or something just to get like a T-Spike down and guaranteed. Because even one T-Spike is just huge for me. But instead I'm dumb, so I just let my Drag Alge die right from the start, and I'm just in a huge bad position. Look, freaking Diancie resisted that. That's a freaking Brave Bird. It's not even stab, and it did 36. That's insane. so yeah. So now I go into Mew as he reveals that he's actually physical Diancie, which I've seen before, but I don't think it's as effective as special attacker with Diamond Storm Diancie. So here he goes for the Diamond Storm. He even gets the +2 defense, but it doesn't matter because I have Flash Cannon. That's the reason why you run Flash Cannon, because of Diamond Storm. So I kill the Diancie, and threat is avoided, and you know I don't get 6-0'd. So here I just go for the flip turn to save a Mew potentially first, like a sack. As I go straight into Lycanroc because I expect him to go for like a fire type move. Here he goes for Flame Charge. I'm super worried that he has the coverage to beat my Lycanroc Dusk here. So he goes straight into Palisand as I just click straight Stone Edge because I have to kill it. Crit didn't matter really. And here he goes. I go into Greninja because I'm fearing like a ghost move and I don't really want to go into my like Mew. And he goes straight for Giga Drain. Again, this is another time where I forgot to do adequate prep and like learn move pools. So does 74% to my Greninja. However, this is actually a blessing in disguise. Since this is Torrent only Greninja, now my water type moves, especially my Expert Belt, Hydro Pumps, are now going to do insane amounts of damage. If they hit. Which is just... Because if that hit, I think that did over half, which is insane. I'm just so bummed that it missed. There I go for Mew to sack, but I probably should have gone to Steelix expecting the Discharge or even the Tri-Attack, but I was super worried about getting burned by Tri-Attack. I didn't want to risk it. And like getting like frozen as Steelix against his team, especially when he has like a Swift Swim crit Kingdra, or like even if he busts out the Critdra, I'm just screwed. So I have to go into Surfetched. Here he makes a pretty good play, and he stays in because he knew that I don't think CC guaranteed killed there, so I had to go for the knockoff. So he gets the Toxic onto my Surfetch there pretty well. So at this point I'm kind of playing on tilt because I have really nothing that can outright beat the Buzzwole, because I'm thinking that he's probably like some AV set, but I don't really know for sure because he was only revealed one move. So he could be Scarf, he could be AV. I don't think he's banded. I didn't think he was banded at the time, and I was expecting like Victini to be some weird set, potentially also AV, but I have no idea because the damage that he took was from, I think, Mew flip turn, which was pretty normal. So I don't know what Victini set is. I was expecting like maybe a E-Belt or something along those lines. Palisand's pretty standard. Kingdra, I'm just expecting some weird memes, and then Porygon has EVLA knocked. So here I just go for rocks here because I desperately need them down. That chunks. That tells me what Victini's item possibly is, because it could also be Boots as well as Kingdra. As he goes straight for Drain Punch, and I barely live it. So I think this was banded Buzzwole. So he definitely 2 KOs my Surfetch with that. So I'm basically just forced to go for Brave Bird here and just sack it. But now Porygon 2 is super low, as I just go for Hydro Pumps. And here, like, I think it's over because Kingdra kind of walls my team. Quad Resist, Hydro Pumps, so I can't really spam them, and then Lycanroc Dust can miss Play Rough. But instead, my opponent goes for Outrage here, which makes no sense. He should have gone for a Water move, I guess. But I feel like the Steelix switch in was pretty obvious. So instead, he's just letting his Kingdra take recoil damage from Life Orb as well as body press damage. So now it's just in range to die to my Steelix. And yeah, now the momentum has just drastically switched back into my favor, because before then I really didn't have anything that could punch through Kingdra, Buzzwole, Victini, and Palisand other than Greninja, who can miss Hydro Pump. So this actually opens the door for Greninja and Greninja and Lycanroc Dusk to actually clean up and win me this game. So I say and just let Steelix die because it's kind of useless at this point. Victini hits it for super effective damage, Buzzwole hits it for super effective damage, and Palisand hits it for super effective damage. It's just gonna die regardless. So just letting it die just to send in my Greninja pretty freely. I have to hit all these hydro pumps, so this one-shots the Palisand from full, no matter what, because of Torrent. This one-shots the Buzzwole from full, no matter like what it was, other than if it was AP. And here I just go for the Dark Pulse, because I figured that, oh, it's not Boots, it has to be, like E-Belt or something. But it turns out it's actually AV, so AV is the only way that he can actually tank this Dark Pulse. Which is unfortunate, because if I knew that, I probably would have gone for, like, the Hydro Pump again. I also was considering clicking Water Shuriken there, but I didn't. But from the calc I was reading, like, it wasn't a guaranteed kill, while Dark Pulse was. But, yeah. So, like Rock Dusk is able to just outspeed and kill the Victini. And, yeah. Pretty lackluster game for me, that I was making a lot of mistakes, but luckily I was able to pull it out in the end because my opponent made mistakes and I was able to optimally capitalize on them. So yeah, GG's to reedneed. I think that the Kingdra play was the wrong thing to do. It was pretty obvious that I was going to switch into Steelix, and like Greninja can't really do much to Kingdra, because like Dark Pulse wasn't killing, and like if you just clicked the you could also just swap after I revealed Dark Pulse or something. But I don't know if you knew what my set was, so you probably were expecting like specs or something, and you didn't. I don't know how much I did, but I probably did a lot. So yeah, because Steelix was able to take down Kingdra, Greninja was just able to run free with Hydro Pumps. I don't know if the game would have gone if the Hydro Pump on Porygon 2 actually hit, because if it did, I probably would have stayed in against the Porygon 2 and just clicked Dark Pulse again, or Dark Pulse or Water Shuriken against it, and killed it. And then his team would have probably been in a huge back foot at that point, just because he lost his Porygon 2. I would have had my Mew still to use. I think I had, no, I didn't have Roost. I had Psychic and Spikes, but I would have probably been able to put down Spikes or something, and like sack Mew and get like an extra layer or extra thing of hazards to do damage. But yeah, now that I'm 1-1, I'm still like -4 differential because I got 5-0'd week 1. And this is definitely a win I probably shouldn't have gotten, just because I was playing so bad. But you know, it happens. So next week, week 3, and as well as week 4, since it's the holiday season, we have like extended time to do them, up until like the 4th of January. So I hopefully will have both of those matches done by then, as well as the recordings. And yeah, I'll probably figure out what game I want to record. It might just be my speedrun playthrough of Dragon's Dogma, because that's like the last achievement that I have to get, and I want to see how fast actually I beat that game. I don't know like any of the speedrun strats or anything else, so I just know that you just hold forward and run and make sure your character's skinny and long legs. So yeah, hope you guys are looking forward to that as well, and see you next video. Peace.